Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing. You want to hear...
Thanks to the Warner Bros. Entertainment Inc., one of the most important companies in the creation, distribution and production of any audiovisual product, approximately in 1925, the spoken cinema has come to life. Afterwards, the movie industry had to face many challenges, like the solution to a distribution of the audiovisual product in countries where the spoken language is not the English language. At the time, the producer found various solutions. In the first period, the actors had to play their role more than once. Each time, they had to talk in a different language. In this way, they created different versions of the movie in order to distribute them in many countries.
Escape, nunca, de Horen a Elvira de Vista.
Afterwards, they preferred the creation of analogous movie. The actors of the country in which the movie was distributed had to create another movie with the same intrigue but modifying the characters in order to make them more credible and near to the culture of the country, each time in a different languages, in order to create various versions. Eventually, thanks to the new technologies, we now have audiovisual translation. The expression audiovisual translation indicates all the modalities of translation and adaptation of original dialogues of audiovisual products. In other words, all those products which use simultaneously the acoustic and the visual channels to transmit contents to the audience. The audiovisual translation incorporates various steps and implies the participation of numerous professional figures that are vital for a good result in the adaptation of the audiovisual product. In the audiovisual products, like movies, TV series or documentaries, the visual and sound sphere combine perfectly and become inseparable. That is to say, the movements that match with their lines. The sound sphere, instead, shows two components. First of all, the spoken one, composed by the dialogues between the characters and/or the voice of the narrator. Successively, we will denote that one is not spoken, sounds, noise and music. This second component is usually called soundtrack. The adaptation of an audiovisual product is a linguistic and cultural transposition, addressed to the audience of the country where it has to be distributed. Therefore, the adapter must know well the original, but at the same time has to use his or her creativity to turn the original script in a credible version in her country, always following the original intrigue, the original messages, the audience to whom the product is destined to, and the ideas of the director. The hard work of the translator-adapter does not only concern the synchronization. In fact, he has to make sure that the translation is near to the culture of the audience of the country where the movie has to be distributed. The most difficult tasks consist in translating jokes, puns, humoristic and obscene lines, swear words, and also making plausible dialect inflection and slangs. Author of more than 1,500 movies, officially chosen by Martin Scorsese and Woody Allen for the Italian version of the movies, Elettra began to translate as an adult. Notwithstanding the skepticism of the Italian producers, she became the first female audiovisual translator. Dubbing is a process that consists in the substitution of the original soundtrack of an audiovisual product, voices, sounds, noises, with a new one composed by the dialogues and the voiceovers translated in the arrival language. The protagonist of this process is the dubber, also called a voice actor, lends the voice to the original actor, taking care of all the aspects of the character in order to make him credible and likable for the arrival audience. In order to fully understand the task of the dubber, I had the pleasure to interview an excellence of Italian dubbing, Pino Insegno, winner of 2 Nastri d'Argento and creator of the Grand Prize of Dubbing, an award for the entire AVT sector. From this collection of data, I could understand the main changes of the industry. A big turning point has been for sure the introduction of copyright for the script translation in 1998. From that year, in fact, the work of AV translator has been recognized. The audiovisual translation is defined the highest level of translation because it has not only to maintain the original aspect of the movie, but it has also to satisfy various rules. The research of sync, that is to say the synchronization of the labials, is one of the hardest challenges for the translator-adapter. These witnesses show us how this job is in a continuous evolution, but also how the new technologies can affect it. In fact, another big change that has brought a lot of concerns is the introduction of the legalized streaming platforms, like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu. These three streaming platforms had radically changed the entire situation. The way we watch movies and sitcoms is different now, and also in the field of distribution have changed. In fact, now the demand of audiovisual products is higher, and this has caused a drop in the quality of the translation. Recently, a lot of protests and concerns have been raised. Famous directors like Christopher Nolan and Pedro Almodovar have strongly expressed their opposition, since they are strictly convinced that a movie cannot be separated from the movie theaters. Among the favorables, we can find Woody Allen, who has produced a TV series for Amazon Prime Video, and Martin Scorsese, who will distribute his last film, The Irishman, towards Netflix. In conclusion, the goal of this collection of data and witnesses is to demonstrate to the less informed audience how hard and long is the process of dubbing. Through direct witnesses, I try to make clear all the difficulties and the aspects of this linguistic and cultural transposition. Moreover, I deeply wanted to explain the work of the translator-adapter and of the dubber. These two professional figures are too often judged but not correctly awarded. If we can appreciate a movie translated into Italian that fully respects the original idea of the director, if we can fully comprehend the story, if we can relate ourselves with the characters, it's only thanks to our translators and dubbers. Moreover, the numerous prizes and the positive opinion all over the world demonstrate that we, the Italians, are the best in these sectors. In fact, actors like Woody Allen, Jamie Foxx, Viggo Mortensen we publicly thank their Italian dubbers. Martin Scorsese will choose only Elettra Caporello for his movies, and even after 40 years after every adaptation he will thank her. Given that, I wanted to prize our Italian excellencies in such a complicated and in a constant evolution field. The second goal of this thesis is to pose some questions about the future of cinema, of adaptation and dubbing. Having lived the Netflix wave, I tried to understand the meaning of this revolution and to do further research on the public opinion about this exciting and concerning phenomenon. Is this the end of cinemas? Will the legalized streaming take its place? The screen where we watch movies will be even smaller than now? Today, we can give no answers whatsoever to those questions. The only certainty is that technology is unstoppable, but it is our task to use it in the best way possible.